I'm Camille Desmarest, and this short film is presenting my dance practices. The flexible bars technique, devised by Wilfried Piolet and Jean Guidrix, radiates through my practice as a tool and resource to train, choreograph, analyze and teach. I'm fond of this practice because it encompasses all the aspects of being a human while dancing through an integrated approach. I'm very interested in and reading about Laban and Cunningham because they respectively develop their work as an artistic whole, training, vocabulary and a dance philosophy. I'm in the middle of Chance and Circumstances by Caroline Brown, for example. It allows me to put the flexible bars into a historical perspective. There are also bridges between the systems. Flexible bars exercises are notated in Laban notation, and working with Cunningham was one of the main triggers for Wilfried to develop a technique without holding the bar. Facing oneself in a studio is both the most important and hardest part of the choreographic process. These trials allowed me to encounter myself artistically and find out what would come out. Written works from Chris Crickmay and Miranda Tufnell, the book Composing While Dancing by Melinda Buckwalter, Deborah Hay and Kirsty Simpson have been great sources of inspiration. The links between practice and theory are crucial to me because non-dissociable and reinforcing each other. I am touched by the humanity and sensitivity of people on stage. What's moving me is seeing a sense of a whole human being, physically, mentally and emotionally. Performing is revealing, and I found this vulnerable position quite poignant. I have realized that I instinctively tend to orientate my work towards what is really challenging for me and what makes me going beyond some inhibitions. That's why I focused my work on the practice of improvisation. I devised structured improvisation where the material or landmarks were set, but the pathway between point A and point B was not planned beforehand. I worked on being conscious and aware in the present moment. Focus on senses was one way amongst others to retune with the now. It was about listening, interacting, and loosening the grip on conscious thought patterns without anticipating nor judging myself. Over the last 2 years, I have done several site-specific performances. Each place spoke to me in a way that made me want to dance there. It was not premeditated, but rather a response to the particularities of the place that struck me. I enjoy a lot working in two opposite ways. On the one hand, researching and reflecting for months, and on the other hand, the genuine prompt spontaneity of the ink and ink. The internal focus while performing creates a particular body state. I'm working on a complementary embodiment using a specified eyes focus in order to engage more with the audience, develop an external projection, and reinforce the presence. I have been feeling strong connections between arts long before becoming a professional dancer. For me, there's a brotherhood between practices, similarly to languages. Talking about the same matter in different languages is what I've felt playing piano for 10 years and writing quite a lot. One of the early artistic shocks I experienced was the Yves Klein exhibition at the Centre Pompidou in Paris. What struck me the most was the physicality of colors. The main things I'm sensitive to are colors, light, and rhythm. The choreographic works I created were often complex and intricate. If I choreograph everything, unlike a structured improv, the material is elaborated. I would not like to use ready-made elements or characteristic ones of a specific aesthetic.
Donne le code, forme des faisceaux en impose en société. Début d'un rêve.
Rhythm is what matters to me the most in music. It is vibration, which is why the physical impact of music is very strong. I don't usually create work that specifically follows the rhythm and melody of a score, but when I do, it is for that reason.
Je le connais.
Collaborating with other artists brings out unexpected outcomes, which are specific to our individual sensibilities. I like to be surprised, to find unpredicted results that I could not have imagined. I specifically enjoy the moment when different artistic mediums interact with and feed one another. This piece was a collaboration with the composer Antoine Maurice and the painter Yassine Khan. I wanted a combination of Baroque, Balkan and tango influences blending with the canvases and movement. The idea of synesthesia was at the core of this piece. While it would be possible to invent a new point of departure, or creative framework, or context for a new piece every day, the actual work begins once this is said. That is where I tend to feel stuck, in finding a way to give shape to ideas, going beyond the task I choose. I tend to create serious or dramatic atmospheres. So on my next project to be performed at the end of August, I'm taking a different approach with a tight choreographic writing, a lighter subject and a more theatrical intention. I'm interested in developing a personal vocabulary and creating a discourse which is significant to me. My taste for detailed choreography is probably influenced by French literature studies. When studying a text, the focus is on meaningful small elements, like words, fragments of a sentence, and their relationships with one another. I developed a sense of a precise analysis that taught me how to distance myself from a work. I like to create imaginary universes, like a music box one would open, revealing a scenery, characters, and a particular world. I'd love, in a long perspective, to work on big-scale pieces with scenography, sound and light collaborators.